Hello, and welcome to Boss Your Brand. My name is Courtney, and I am so happy to welcome you into this space where we're going to be diving deep into what it takes to build a brand that is not only profitable, but that lasts and connects with your ideal clients for years and years to come. Let's get started. My name is Courtney Harvey, and I am the owner of Mill Street Design, and I work out of Rochester, New Hampshire in my home office. In the background is typically my 7 and 9-year-old boys, Jeffrey and Teddy. I'm married to my college sweetheart, even though we didn't go to the same college, and we have a fantastic, happy life together. When I'm not working on building brands, you can find me with my family, you can find me gardening, you can find me watercolor painting. And a little known fact about me is that I have been volunteering as an EMT on my local fire departments in about 4 different states that we've lived. So let's dive into why I started to build this course. So, as many of you know, I'm a branding graphic designer, and that means that I build companies' logos and websites and social media plans and all that good visual stuff that goes along with the job. And while I'm absolutely in love with it, my mission in life is to help as many businesses as I possibly can make money and make a really big impact in the world. And while it's really important to do that with a great website and have a great website, the mission behind these companies and how people represent themselves online and speak to their ideal client is much more important than a pretty logo. So that's why I started Boss Your Brand, because I noticed that there was a need from when the time my clients finished with me as their branding designer to how they portrayed themselves and represented themselves online. You know, Jeff Bezos from Amazon said it best. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it's so true. How you represent yourself in your business and with people that you're networking with and online is truly tenfold when it comes to the return on your business and the income that you're going to make. The feeling that you leave people with is vital to the success of your business. I mean, think about the last time you went out to eat and you had a bad experience. How long did it take you to return to that restaurant? And it probably left a bad taste in your mouth. No pun intended. So, let's get clarification on what it really takes to run a profitable business, to scale a profitable business, and to continue to show up on the hardest days and on the days you feel like giving up. But we're not going to do that. We are going to boss your brand. So, how is this course going to work? Well, I'm glad you asked. I set this course up to be a workshop style creation. The reason I did that is because myself, I've taken countless courses where I have spent months going through the modules only to not show up and implement what I learned. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to be taking huge steps to reach your goals. I want to break them down into bite sized pieces for you. And that's why we're working on a module a week. So each day this week, we're going to be going live in the Facebook group, and I'm going to be giving you an action item. You've already probably downloaded your workbook for the Mastering Your Mindset portion of this course, and that was intentional. It's my belief that mindset is the most important thing that we can conquer in our business. And I'm afraid that I was afraid that if I gave you the entire workbook, you'd be so excited you'd want to move on and get to the fun stuff. But trust me, mastering your mindset will be the fun stuff, especially when you have those hard days and you need to fall back on the tools that you're going to learn this week to get through and conquer and actually end up even better than you were at the beginning. So take my word for it. This training, this first week, is going to completely shift your mindset so that you can conquer the rest of the weeks and be ready to implement right away. So, mastering your mindset. Why is it such a big deal? And why does it matter? It matters because mastering your mindset is everything. Yes, I will go into it. I let fear stand in my way for almost a decade before I started my business. That's a long time. All right. And because of the emotions and the mindset that I had for all those years and probably all of my childhood years, I let them get in my way. And sometimes I want to let them stop me even now. But when I have the right mindset, they won't stop me. I will fear the fear. I will feel the fear and do it anyway. So let's get right into that. What gets in the way of our progress? What is it that causes most people to fail? What is the real thing that gets in the way of our dreams that we want to manifest for our lives? Well, we've all got different stories. I don't have the resources. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have the capital. Everybody's got a reason why they're not successful in business or in life. But there's only one reason why. And that's because we'll come up with all the resources that we don't have, the time, energy, money, the systems, whatever it is. But the most successful people find the resources because they're resourceful. You joined this course because you're resourceful. They figure out what's needed and they have enough positive emotion to find the answers. Because if you're creative enough, as I said before, you'll find the answer. If you're determined enough, you'll get through the problem. And if you care enough for other people, you can get them to care about you and your mission. So the ultimate resources are human emotion. But there's one emotion that is the only reason why people fail. And you know what it is. It's an F word. It's fear. False evidence appearing real, it's called, or F everything and run. That's probably a better example of what more people really think, right? But I want to tell you that there's some simple things you can do to get through that fear. Because when you don't get through it, you're just going to have excuses and stories. And even if you succeed, we're all going to get fearful at some point. The strongest people on earth have a place where they're fearful, that they have the tools in their toolbox to fall back on and utilize when they need them most. And the next 5 tips that I'm going to give you are things that we're going to be focusing on this week. And they're going to be things that you can fall back on when you need them most to get back into mastering your mindset. I struggle very hard with a few of these, but when done every day in conjunction with the tools that I'm going to be giving you the rest of the week and the ones that are in your workbook that you downloaded today, I truly believe that having a positive mind is not going to be difficult for you. So, what is number 1? Well, number 1 is fueling your body. And if you're really going to be successful, you've got to feed and strengthen your body every day. See, you can't separate the mind and the body. You can read all kinds of great things and feed your mind, but if your body's weak, it's really hard to have a strong, positive mind. You've got to do something each day, even if it's really brief. It could even be a 5 or 10-minute walk. It doesn't have to be a long workout, but you've got to move your body because you've got to make energy. So you could be doing a really intense walk. You can be doing some lifting weights, but you've got to do it. Warm up properly. That's my disclaimer, or you can pull some muscles. But the point is, you want to do something. The second is really simple. It's to fuel your mind every single day. Every single day, you've got to feed and strengthen your mind. And you can't hope that a good idea is going to interrupt you. Great ideas don't interrupt you. They've got to be pursued. And I know you know that, or you wouldn't be a part of this course. You came for this because you are one of the people looking for answers and you're looking for self-education. But it's one thing to do this every once in a while. It's another to do it as a system for the rest of your life. Habits are what create us. It's not what you do every once in a while that matters. It's what you do every day. And that's what shapes your character. It's what shapes everything. So just remember that leaders are readers. And I want you to do something that's going to feed and strengthen your mind every day. I promise you it's going to result in way better ideas than without this practice. My next piece of advice is to celebrate your wins. Buy yourself that bouquet of flowers. Treat yourself to that cup of coffee. Don't overindulge, but it's really important to celebrate your successes along the way. Even if you're not buying yourself something small, I really do encourage you to celebrate those wins and at least write them down and remember them for those days that it seems harder to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Probably the most important tool to having a strong mindset is having strong boundaries. Do you want to have nights with your family? Do you want to cook dinner every night and be able to put your phone away? or not work past 7, or have the first 2 hours of when you wake up not dedicated to work or clients, do it. Set boundaries and make sure that you stick to them. Client expectations and boundaries should be the first thing that you communicate with your new clients. And even if you're in a business where you don't have clients, I'm sure that you have coworkers or customers asking you questions. I'm not telling you to be cold, but I do want to remind you that having boundaries is going to be really important for your mental health and for your overall health when it comes to taking care and protecting your peace. My next piece to keeping your mindset right is surrounding yourself with the right people. So notice your energy when you're around certain people. Is it off? Are you feeling drained? Or do you feel lit up and inspired? Pay attention to how you're feeling around certain people and who's pushing you and who's not. I really encourage you to speak with the other women in this group because I know that they're going to inspire you and uplift you. And don't forget, I'm in your corner as well. Great. So you've made it through figuring out why having a strong mindset is important, like you guys didn't know, right? But you've also got a few tools that are really going to help you on the days that you feel like you're struggling a little more. Well, one of the tools, the best tool in my opinion, to figuring out how to get through a tough day is defining your why and going 7 levels deep. So I'm not sure if you've all heard of this method. I learned it from Dean Graziosi, but it's defining and going deep with your why so that even on the worst days and the toughest days, there is no way that you would give up because your why is so embedded in and ingrained in who you are. So I'm going to walk you through the exercise, but you're going to find this on the first page of your workbook. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you, why is it important for you to be successful? And you're going to answer. So let me give you a little insight on what happened to me when this question was asked of me. So my course instructor said, Courtney, why do you want to be successful? And I wanted to give the right answer. So I said something like, because I really want to make an impact for my family's income and I really want to make an income. And she said, great, why is it important to you that you do that you make an income? And I said, well, because I've been a stay-at-home mom for a while and I don't want the burden to fall on my husband so much anymore. And she said, so you let me know that, you wanted to make an impact for your family's finances. Why is it important that you take some of that burden off of your husband? And I said, well, because I want to contribute and I don't want all the stress to be on him. And I was like, what? That's it. That's all we don't need to go anymore. And she's like, no, there's 3 or 4 levels deeper that we need to go. I was like, okay. So she kept on and we kept going. And I remember it was about at level 4 or 5, and I'm tearing up just thinking about it. I stopped answering with my head and I started answering with my heart. So doing this 7 levels deep exercise, we can do it in the group. We can, have a phone call to do it. It's really important that you establish this right away because this is going to help you even when you feel like everything you're doing is upside down. Remembering your why is number one. And I know that a lot of people say your why should make you cry. When you get 7 levels deep and understand the true meaning of what you're doing, you are going to master your mindset every single time, and you are never going to forget why you started. I am so excited to see your whys in the group.